Hi everyone, my name is Serena and welcome to the very first YouTube video on Kahani. So you may know me either from my blog, my podcast, LinkedIn posts, whatever it may be, and I decided that I want to step into the world of video content creation, and so here we are on this channel. So for my first video, I'm going to start off with something I know, and that is calligraphy. So a big part of Kahani is basically storytelling, and that's why I kind of started my blog in the first place, because I wanted to share my love of storytelling with others. And Kahani is a Hindi word that means story, and essentially for me calligraphy has been a very integral part of my storytelling journey. I often use calligraphy to make cards, to letter insightful messages, or to just improve my art skills and visual art skills overall. So for this video, I'm going to teach you 4 ways to improve your calligraphy. So without further ado, we'll get started. So our first tip is to basically identify upstrokes and downstrokes. So often we get this really nice calligraphy. I'll just do an example. So right now I'm just using a Crayola marker, one of the super tip markers. I'll link that in the description below. And I'm just lettering the word hello. Okay, so basically, I'm just getting another pen right now, but basically we could see here that as I'm pulling my pen away from me, the stroke gets thinner. Just kind of labeling that, and then as I pull the pen towards me, the stroke gets thicker. And an easy way to kind of help visualize that, especially if you're just kind of getting started out, is to just take a regular pen or pencil. I'm just kind of taking this fine liner brush I bought off of Amazon, and basically I'm just going to write the word hello in regular cursive. Also, another tip that I would suggest doing, especially for identifying upstrokes and downstrokes, is to take breaks after you write the letter. So if you noticed, when I wrote the H, I kind of stopped my pen, I guess, and then connected the E after. So yes, that's another good way to help visualize this. So when I'm pulling my pen towards me, I'm just going to thicken that part and do the same thing for the rest of the word. And basically you kind of get this nice calligraphy effect, and this is really what calligraphy lettering is, just kind of identifying your upstrokes and downstrokes and making your downstrokes thicker and your upstrokes thin. So yeah, that is tip number 1. So tip number 2 is to use a bounce in your letters, and I'll show you what I mean. So now I'm using one of my favorite calligraphy pens, the Tombow dual brush pen, and again I'll put this in the link below, but I'm just going to hand letter the same word again, hello, because why not? There you go. And I'm going to pull out a pencil now, and you can kind of see how the letters are not exactly level, and we could kind of prove this by kind of drawing a line, and we'll see how like the E and the O kind of fall directly on the line, but the 2 L's and the H kind of go below it. So this kind of gives the letters a bounce-like quality, and it honestly just adds a different personality to the letters, quite honestly, in my opinion. So to kind of practice this, I would suggest drawing 3 lines as so. And then just kind of taking your brush pen and just kind of practicing by lettering some letters below the line, some above, and just kind of playing around with the style a bit until you end up with something you like. So yeah, that is tip number 2. Okay, so tip number 3 applies more to when you're lettering those larger pieces, maybe lettering a phrase or trying to calligraphy, well, that's not a word, but if you're trying to calligraphy a group of words. So let's say I just wanted to write the phrase, have a nice day. So composition refers to how these individual words kind of fit together in order to create the finished art piece. So something I like to do to improve my composition is to kind of try and fit my words in a shape. So this kind of gives like a concrete feel to the phrase I'm trying to letter, and just overall makes the piece come out a little nicer. So right now I'm just kind of drawing a rectangle over here, and then I'm just going to use my pencil first to kind of write a draft of this composition, and then I'll use a brush pen and then letter over it. So another thing I'm doing is that I'm not really using calligraphy for the whole entire word, and this will kind of segue into tip number 4, I promise. But really I'm just kind of using calligraphy for some of the words in order just to give the phrase a balanced feel. So again, I'm just trying to fit my words as neatly in this box as possible. It's kind of challenging when you think about it. And then often it requires lots of erasing, as you could tell here, especially to realize that I want to make the have a little bigger. Okay, so I think I finished the pencil component, so I'm just going to be using, yep, my Tombow dual brush pen. I'm just going to letter this in one color, just for the sake of this video, but in reality I'll probably use multiple colors. Okay, so there we have it. And then after, of course, you could kind of like erase that shape that you started with. But now you kind of have like this nice little composition here. Everything kind of lines up together nicely, and overall just a fun way to improve your composition. So I kind of hinted towards this at the last tip, but basically tip number 4 is to mix and match your fonts. So I'll kind of give an example. So we could do a thin uppercase font as shown here. And then we could do a little calligraphy bounce. Okay, so now we could kind of combine these fonts in order to write different words. So I'll give an example. Maybe I'll just write "Have a nice day" again. So there you go. So like as you can see, these fonts really do pair well with each other. And this is just an example. You could always kind of create your own fonts, try different styles of calligraphy, but I usually always like to go with like a thin uppercase font along with a bouncy calligraphy font, and that usually seems to work pretty well. I'll do another example. All right, hello there. Yeah, there you go. And with that being said, that was the last and final tip. So thank you for watching this first video, and I hope that I hope that this calligraphy video inspires you to do some more storytelling maybe, and I hope that you enjoy hand lettering and using your hand lettering to tell stories. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll probably do another calligraphy tip video in the future, but thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.